Hey guys, it's Brindley Tucker. I have a feeling that there was a little bit of a delay there, but you know what? It's technology these days, and that's what we deal with. So I want to talk tonight about a very interesting topic, and it's something that I learned pretty pretty early on, and it's a difficult one because I'm super hard on myself, and I'm getting my notes pulled up, guys. Just bear with me one moment. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm prepared. Gosh, technology threw me off tonight. So the number one thing that I've learned over the years, that someone early on in my recovery taught me, was not to take myself too seriously. So you kind of go through, like, I grew up, I was raised by a very, I was raised by my grandparents and my mom. So my mom traveled a lot, my mom worked a lot, and my grandparents, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. And my grandfather, I would say, was a very high level perfectionist. And my grandmother was a very, very strong Southern Baptist, live by the book, lived by the Bible. And so I was raised in an environment in which there was high standards, very high standards. And I was held to these high standards, and I felt always the need to exceed the high standards. I remember being a kid, and there was this contest that you were going to get to go in a limo, and I got 1B, and I didn't get the straight A's to go to go on and ride in the limo. And I remember being devastated when it happened, and going through all of those emotions of failure, and that my mother was disappointed, and I didn't win the contest, and all of these things that go along with it. And so as I go back and look at all the programming that has caused this, it's no doubt, and there's no reason why I wouldn't take myself so seriously, and I would put this undue stress on myself to perform at such a high level, and such a high level of perfection. And what it would do is it would follow me in life. And eventually, because I was so hard on myself, and I would never meet the expectations that I set for myself, that's when I started drinking. That's when I started, okay, I don't want to feel, and in order to be this person that I think I need to be, I need alcohol in order to do it. And so it basically bred this, I always had to pretend to be someone that I wasn't. And I'm stumbling on my words tonight because this is a really hard thing for me to talk about, because it's really vulnerable. And it's when we talk about how we view ourselves and the way that we think about ourselves, when our persona may show something else. So people think that I'm this strong, confident, I do all of these lives, I can easily reach out. And the truth is, guys, that I think like everybody else, right? I overthink things. I'm hard on myself. I'm critical. And I constantly have to use my language to talk myself out of that. And that was something I learned early in recovery, was not to take myself too seriously. Because I thought when my new life started that I wasn't going to have fun anymore. I thought that it was going to be all work, no play. I had gotten into this very dark place, and now I had to do all of this work in order to get better, and that there wasn't going to be any fun. And, a lot of people take that as, don't take yourself so seriously, you will still have fun in recovery. But for me, it was to more of an extreme. I remember, like, I'm that person that if I make a grammatical error or a spelling error, I put asterisk to correct myself in a text. And I remember the first time I did that, somebody said, don't take yourself too seriously. And that's when I started having to look at myself and go, why am I putting such hard restrictions on myself? I was running this morning. I don't run, you guys. I've said it for years. If you see me running, you should probably run, because something's chasing me or I'm running to something. And I would never run because I hurt my ankle in one of my car accidents, and I can't have high pressure, high volume impact. And so I just wouldn't run, because I didn't want people on the street to think that I was a poor runner, or that I wasn't athletic, or how they would judge me the way I ran. And I just had to say to myself, Brindley, stop taking yourself so seriously. Who cares? Go walk, run. And who cares what they think? What other people think about you is none of your business. Stop taking yourself so darn seriously. And so in order to start not taking myself so seriously and not overthinking about it, is I just had to start becoming aware of it. I had to become aware of it, and I had to be willing to change. So now when I make mistakes, I'm not so quick to say, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, fix it. I give myself grace and I say, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Like, it happened. And then also I learned to laugh with myself, not at myself, but to laugh with myself. When I make a mistake, when I do something silly, like this whole video, the first minute and a half, I'm probably going to laugh with myself about it because the tech wasn't right. I didn't have my notes pulled up, and it's already a hard enough topic, right? And at some point I'm going to have to say, who cares how many people watch it, Brindley? Don't take yourself so seriously. Like, it's okay. We're perfectly imperfect. We're perfectly imperfect. So learning to laugh with ourselves. It's not laugh at ourselves. I'm not making fun of myself. I'm laughing with myself to remind myself that, you know what? I'm human and I can make mistakes, and it's okay. And life will go on. And also, by laughing with myself, it increases my endorphins. And endorphins, it's like dopamine, is what makes us happy. It gives us joy. So I was reading some things today about laughter that I wanted to share with you, and what laughter actually was. So scientists believe that laughter was actually an early way of communicating before we actually had language. So laughter is thought to have been a human speech that our early ancestors actually used to clarify their intentions during social interactions. So if somebody laughed, it meant we're okay, you can come close, we're in a good space. And this was prior to us having any type of context for conversation. It was a signal of acceptance, right? So when we laugh with ourselves, what we're doing is we're showing that we accept ourselves. We accept ourselves in all of our flaws, in all of our humanity, and all of our dysfunction, right? I think it's also important I read this, and this was really fascinating, is to make a distinction between humor and laughter. Humor is an evoked response to storytelling and shifting expectations. Laughter is a social signal among humans. It's like a punctuation mark. And when I read that, I went, wow, so I need to have more humor with myself. I need to evoke more positive response in shifting my expectations to have more positive humor. So instead of being so hard on myself and having so many hard negative expectations on myself, shift and add some humor, right? To evoke a more positive response and have more positive expectations of myself and giving myself that grace. Something that was interesting is that nearly 60% of unpleasant experiences are forgotten. So 60%. So if we experience something with ourselves, with another human being, 60% of those experiences are going to be forgotten, while only 42% of good memories fade. So if you do the math, the more good memories that we're creating, the more good memories that are going to stay, right? And the more unpleasant experiences are going to leave. So if we diminish the number of unpleasant experiences and we stop being so hard on ourselves, we make more room for good memories, and the good memories are going to last longer than the bad experiences. And so I truly, truly had to learn not to take myself so seriously. And when I started finding that I was holding myself to a super high standard, or I was judging myself, or I was judging others, because remember, when we judge others, we're really judging ourselves. It has nothing to do with the other person. It's the rule book that we talked about, right? That I have a rule book and I hold everybody according to my rule book. But the thing is, most people don't have the same rule book. And so they don't even know what the rules are. And so, or they don't have a rule book at all. So we have to get rid of the rule book, stop putting the rules on ourselves, just do the best that we can every day with what we have, and don't take ourselves too seriously in the process. And if we don't take ourselves too seriously, then we can have fun in anything that we do. And we have to give each other permission to let each other know, as friends and community and working together, when we are taking ourselves so seriously, to be able to say to one another, hey, don't take yourself so seriously. It's no big deal. So what? You made a grammar mistake in a post, or so what? Your dog jumped on a Zoom call. Who cares? Don't take yourself so seriously. So I hope this helped. I hope you made it through the beginning of my glitches. I'm not going to take myself too seriously. And we will see you next week, guys. Have a great week. Bye.